Hey, what's up? This is the man that you all know and love, Edigga. That's right, I'm coming to you from Charm City Direct TV. This edition is a little different. Like I said before, stepping away from the radio studio to bring to you familiar faces, awesome people in and around the Baltimore community who's making an impact on Baltimore, on the city, and I am honored right now, as always. I'm extremely honored to be in the presence of this great man right here, Pastor Steve Turner.
Well, thank God.
Pastor Turner is the pastor of Destiny Changers Deliverance Center right here in the Forest Park Seniors Center. If you're ever in this area, 4801 Liberty Heights Avenue, if you're ever in this area on Wednesdays,
Bible study,
Wednesdays Bible study, come on in. And church service is
every Sunday at 4 p.m.
If you're in this area around those times, stop on in. He would love to have you as a new member of both the Bible study and church. So I'm here today with you, sir, Pastor Turner. It is a privilege, it is an honor for me. You are the first pastor on the show.
Is that right?
Yes, very first pastor.
Wow. Well.
And what I decided to do is not only stop at artists, rappers, singers. I wanted to get out. I wanted to explore everything from community organizations, community organizers, church, because I consider church is the backbone of every community. So my question to you, when did you decide to go into ministry?
Well, I would say that I really didn't have a choice. I started with music ministry.
Okay.
My mother had a choir for 46 years at a church, First Apostolic.
Okay.
And she called me downstairs one day and she happened to ask Steve, when I got down there, she stepped up on the top step and said, "Would you like to learn how to play the piano?"
Okay.
And I thought about it, and then I looked over and I saw on the left-hand side was a man standing there with a suit and tie and envelope, standing by the baby grand piano in our house. And I realized that I didn't drive, I didn't work anywhere, and she controlled everything. So I just said, "Okay, that sounds pretty good." So for the next 11 years, I took classical music every Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Wow.
And I would like to mention his name. He's gone, but not forgotten by me. His name is Clarence Bingham.
Okay.
And as a gentleman, he was a role model because I didn't have a father in the house. So he became my role model.
Okay.
Always suited down, professional.
Wow.
Respectful to my mother. Okay. And as it related to that, I took classical music. No one understood in the church where I grew up what I was doing.
Okay.
Because that was a hardcore apostolic church, so reading notes and all that was not something that people understood. They said, "Well, clap for him anyway." That's Sister Turner's service.
Okay.
And I had the chance to do recitals right on the pulpit. The pastor, then the late great Bishop Winfield A. Shaw allowed youth to do things. And, we had like 10 choirs, so every song they would switch off, and so that gave me an opportunity to appreciate and be appreciated for what I was doing.
So would you say that this gentleman influenced you to start your ministry? Or what really influenced you to start your ministry and your church?
Okay, well, I guess you're talking about two different things here.
Okay.
In the music side, because I watched the pastor, who also was a trumpet player, play, and my mother had a choir.
Okay.
And I discovered she took piano also, but she stopped because she had me. But she wanted me to pass the dream on and take the time.
Okay.
And I was the first in my family to play the keyboard. Okay. So it was a musical family, so music ministry just, we did the music, but then we understand the difference between music and just playing and singing, and in ministry. Because music, we have rap artists actually like rap too.
Okay.
Parliament Funkadelic and all that stuff.
Okay, all right.
I used to play all that stuff before I would go out from school. My mother was very patient, and so I was affected by Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder while I was listening to Jane Cleveland and all that.
Okay.
But the point is that the difference is in the music is that one sings into another, to himself, and rap artists, they sing into themselves.
Okay.
I can do this, I can do that. But when you're doing to gospel, you're singing unto God.
Yes.
You're bragging about him.
Yes.
Saying he's done it all for you. So it's not about you. Okay, so at some point I realized that I've also played for a quartet group. And I was the youngest person in the group. It was called the Bells of Joy. And it's a group that got me out to where I actually traveled. I was Arcade Stadium, big gospel artists. And I traveled down to Tennessee, came up to New York, Buffalo, Rochester one weekend. It ain't all glamorous, okay, where it's 10 guys, we're in a van, and we got like maybe 2 rows of chairs. We're sleeping on the floor, we got 1 chicken box from KFC, we're all but when you're trying to make it, that's how it is, and nobody talks about that. So I would just say at some point it became very serious to me in that I incorporated, I think in 1994, as I was was frustrated. I walked off a job because I always worked in corporate America, doing sales and marketing, and I just didn't see the benefit. Okay. And I walked off the job, and I saw a sign that says 1,000 business cards for $9.99. And so, like Moses saw a sign. God still deals with people that way.
Yes.
And so I looked at my pocket. Got me a little slow. You talking to me? Talk to God. You talking to me? And all I had was $10. I had planned to go to Popeyes and just pig out, and that was it.
Get that chicken box.
Okay, preachers like chicken. It's not a stereotype. And at some point I realized that God was talking to me. So you want me to take my last 10 and have faith and go in there and start a business? Wow. So when the man asked me at the counter at Staples, what do you want to start? Call it. I don't have a name for it. I looked up in the sky and said, what do you want? It was called a Ministry of Music. That's the first round I started. And I got my first call during an argument I had with my ex-wife. We were together then. And he wanted to come out and play. Okay, so you had to get over the hump and ask, what's the honorarium? That's very important. Because if you don't say that, then nothing will come from that. And so that's how it started. And that's been 20 years now. Wow. And so I'm not bragging, I'm just saying that because I was working the corporate side, I still had a day job. I hung out with the European influence of corporate sales, and I saw them how they did things, and I started to internalize stuff. So I put magnets on my car. I had a PT Cruiser, and I put magnets on it, and it was a thing in itself. But what I'm trying to say is that the ministry side, I've even been pulled over because someone said, well, I don't think it takes all that. Between North Avenue and Reisterstown, I had a Muslim pull me over and get indignant with me because I had Praise Unlimited on my back window. I had Praise Unlimited on the side. I had magnets that said Praise Unlimited. The car was black, it was shiny, it's pimped out. Not the profile of a minister. And so he said, it'll take all that. I said, I'm dependent upon what side of the conversation you're talking to. For me, it took all that. I said, in this area where we are now, I used to do police work. And God spared my life when they were trying to kill me. And so he spared my life when I came close to death. God, Satan doesn't want those who have gifts and talents, who's replaced him in ministry and in worship of God. He wants them to live. Okay. He wants to be stifled and to be frustrated and depressed and commit suicide. That's what he wants. And so we can't give him what he wants. No. And so I said, so for me, my brother, it takes all of that and then some to do that. And if you can say and rap about sleeping with some woman and doing so and so, I can put this on my car that God gave me. It's a miracle car. Yeah. Credit was all Torah. So he gave it to me, and I'm going to put on it what he told me to put on it. Is that all right with you? And after that, we just slapped hands, and I said, and to be quite frank, let me just drop this on you. You may be a Muslim, okay? And you say, well, I don't want to talk to you because you're a Christian. Well, that's kind of crazy. because we are from the same earthly father, Abraham. So that makes you my half brother. So we're family. The only way to get the deity right, okay, we say Christ, you say Allah, but I'm just trying to tell you, his name is Jesus. Bless you. Yeah, sure. Hebrew. Okay. So you should not be ashamed. That's when you get into the ministry. You should not be ashamed if the terrorist groups have nothing to be afraid of or ashamed of to die for, then there are those who call themselves child of God should not be afraid to die for what you believe in.
True.
Like your father, Christ, died. Then you go do likewise.
True. You were a radio host at one point.
You're thinking all in the background, man.
Did my homework. You was a radio host at one point. Talk about that experience.
I first got my start actually working with a guy, a friend of mine, best friend. His name was Ulysses D. Archie. And he called me in 1995 and asked me would I like to be a co-host on WJRO, which is down in Glenburnie. So I thought about it. Well, you want me? He said, yeah. He said, because you make me laugh. I need that. I said, okay. So he gave me an opportunity to get out of the house. Told my wife then, I gotta go. I got something to freedom. No, and so we went on down there and pre-recorded this, and we used to actually highlight local artists, unsigned artists. And I would dare say that before all the other big shot guys came through, God bless them, we were doing it, and that's how it was. And then in 2000, the former owner, George Dietrich, I can say his name, I guess, he's deceased now, a Jewish millionaire, called me at my job, a new job I had, as a director of institutional marketing for Oren Music, and I don't know how he found me. I said, Steve, I can give you 5 days, we can just be on the air. And I said, George, God bless you, it's too much time. What would I say? I don't want it. I've never really wanted spotlight of it. I did it because it had to be done and nobody else wanted to do it. Okay. I like to hide the shadows, but it's not the way it is now. So I said, I don't want it. So I rejected it and put the phone down, went back to work. And it's like the upper room, got the fire in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, what are you saying? So I grabbed some paper, I started writing. By the time I finished, I had a talk show with no title.
Wow.
So I said, what do you want me to do now? So I called a friend of mine over at Heaven 600 at the time, and he told me to actually go ahead and get the kinks out at another station, BGR. And some of the things I did there, it was only 15 minutes program, but 14 minutes commercial time. But some of the programs I did there, I've gotten a lot of flack for it because I didn't know who I was at the time. And so when I did these programs, talking about very controversial subject matter, okay, well before Michael Basin and all that, God bless him, when trying to be controversial, just that's what he said, and I didn't want to do half the stuff. I did a program one time, I think it was called Putting Up the Wall Against the Homosexual Revolution. And how it came out, Edigga, was the producer had said to me, my friend, volunteer, that between the next program and the future program, you ought to talk about what you're going to say. And so I didn't know, so I tried it, being obedient. And I said, and the next week's program is, and I hung it out there. I had no idea what I was talking about. And then God just filled it up. Putting up the wall against the homosexual, looking at myself like, oh my God, that's not what I was saying. So folks thought I was, I'm just here to play the record, it wasn't me. So on the day of the program, all my guests from other things, they all canceled out. They said they can't come. All these pastors are just too scared to do it. And so I said, I'm going to sleep in the bed and oversleep myself because I don't want to do it. Just like that, I don't want to do it. God said, Negro, get up. And so when I got up, I saw that the Bible was sitting on the desk like this. The light was on it already. And go over there. I don't want to go over there. So I went over there and I saw the scripture. I knew exactly that's what I should be talking about. I said, well, like Moses, I said, listen, I don't want to, it'll take too much time to get to Towson. Traffic. I got to on the 695. Yeah, exactly. 695, it was as clear as my hand. I said, they ain't gonna let me in because they always have problems letting me in. So I rang it two times and he said, okay, go on up. I'm like, oh, Lord. So when I got there and I started doing it, the air became thick like a knife. The second kingdom, which is Satan's domain, became activated because he didn't want me to talk about. Because the you get in trouble. But the word media, I discovered after being a pastor, actually stands for a queen. Back in Phoenician times, that was actually a witch. So media is short for medium, which means witchcraft. Which is any reason why we have, if you look at the news, just a lot of negativity. They don't want to focus on anything positive, like you're trying to focus on something positive. And so we have to be careful when we ingest this type of stuff in our systems and into our homes. When we put that first and put God second. Okay. And when you wake up on the TV, you get up on the TV, everything is, even this, everything is images. You got to be very careful. Images can influence you. And so you just have to know, I think God is talking about a fast. And he's talking about a fast sometimes of not fasting where you damage yourself in terms of the physical side. He's talking about a fast. He said, is this not the fast I've prepared for you, where you do good to the poor, you help the homeless, If you're busy doing that, you won't have time to get involved with all the negativity. And then you won't be absorbed, because if you ever went to a movie, back in our day, we didn't have much to look at. But we went to see Bruce Lee, we came out, kung fu fight. We went to see some horror movie, got to be. But when you put the images of God on stuff, then perhaps maybe we could then focus on acting like Jesus. If we saw more of it, if you went to a movie theater and saw more godly movies, we would then perhaps think twice about doing something stupid. So I think that Hollywood should be the only source to give us what we think. They should dictate to us what we think.
True.
And Edigga, you should be having your own setup, your own theater, your own stuff. Call it like it is. There you go. Amen. Hope I answered the question.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Destiny Changers Deliverance Center.
Okay.
And what can people expect when they come here to worship?
My God. Okay. Destiny Changers Deliverance Center was, after 44 or 42 years of playing music, it's kind of where I'm in a box. And they say, well, like the Fawn, you can only do this. Okay. He's only an organist, isn't it? I have other things that God has blessed me with. And so I can't impress other folks. I have to do what's always been in me the whole time. On my father's side was bishops, pastors, and musicians. On my mother's side was ministers, preachers, and prophets. And so someone said, you could not escape this. And so all my nicknames through school were the same thing. Reverend, bishop, from kindergarten. I hated it. And there's someone out there that hates it too. But you can't escape your calling. You can't escape the gifts. And you try to do bad things, but it still won't leave you alone. My God. And so the point is that some of my best friends at the time kept urging me and nudging me. Now let's meet down at the Days Inn in Bernie and let's have Bible study. And we want you to do the Bible study. I don't want that. And that's exactly where the church started at the Days Inn. I was like, I can't believe this. I'm being set up.
Again.
Yeah. So I said I really didn't want to do it. I was running all my life, and then God just picked me up when I was running, put me right here. Run that way. And so now I have to embrace it because it's just all about it. The Lion King looked in the reflection of the water and saw his father, and that's what I'm looking at now. And so counseling and folks asking me questions all through is still what's going on now. I did this when I was in junior high school. But I said, who are you on the phone with? Were you done your homework? No, ma'am. 6 p.m. It's now 9 p.m. Who are you talking to on the phone for 3 hours? All my classmates. Well, why? They all got problems. Well, what are you talking to them for? Because I'm helping them solve their problems. You're not getting paid to be a counselor. Get your work done. So, but that spirit, as one pastor told me, they'll just keep coming to you, and they'll keep coming to you because they see something in you. The anointing will draw them to you. Yes. And so, at some point I asked God when we had a debate, and he said, do this. Why me? Why me? If you really want to do it, most of the time you're not really real. If you really didn't want to do it, that's when you find yourself being true. And so, because all the great leaders never wanted it. Most of them want to say, I stuttered. Jeremiah, he had excuses. I mean, everybody had excuses. So God looks past his excuses and still use you for what he wants. This is about him, not you. And so I asked him, I said, what sheep should I go after? He said, the sheep that's broken. that's dysfunctional, that's divorced, that's just got all the D's and the R's, rejected.